Well, good morning, pharmacy aficionados. Welcome back again this month to www.salesystem.com.au. My name's Glenn Guilfoyle and I head up the pharmacy specialist group called The Next Level. And we at The Next Level exist in the passionate belief that those pharmacies that reinvent their service model at the dispensary to what we would call a high engagement, high counsel, forward pharmacist service model will be the ones that will rise above the negative forces that are impacting on our industry in the current environment, most notably in the form of PBS reform, big box discounters, and become the beacons that shine the light and show us all what it really means for a pharmacy to become a true health destination in their community, suburb or town. And it's because we have enlisted in this cause that each month we put out a little thought piece to help those pharmacies who are undertaking that reinvention journey. And so this month we're going to look at the fundamentals of the sales conversation at the dispensary counter. Now, just to link back and make the segue from last month's topic, you might remember last month I shared the signposts that we've seen as we've worked with some of these pioneering pharmacies undertaking this transformation journey. And I shared with you some of the learnings that have emerged from our perspective. And in terms of there appears to be a kind of a sequential set of phases that underpin a successful journey towards this sort of transformation. So last month I spoke about the fundamentals of the structural change as the first phase after having defined the New World Vision. And these structural changes we call the next level called the 4 Ps. And it's about the changes that need to be made in the physical design of counters, layout, etc. of the dispensary. The second P being the people, having the right people in the right roles, in the right quantities. Then the third P being the process flows, both for customers and staff behind the counter, and the product appropriate positioning and repositioning. The 4 Ps of the structural change. That first phase we see often then leads to a second phase, which is all around the strategy change. And the little term we at the next level use here are the 4 Cs. And it's the things that need to be done to complement the 4 Ps in terms of converting the customers to stay in the store, converting the stay to engaged, converting engaged to counsel, and converting counsel to an appropriate total solution conversation. And if I use, forgive me if you will, an AFL example, the analogy that we liken here to the 4 Ps and the 4 Cs is like getting the pharmacist out the front to be the centre half forwards and the full forwards, getting the techs out the back to be the centre half backs and the full backs, and the pharmacy assistants to be the important midfielders that dish it all off and feed all the players and bring the customers into the play as well. But, you know, the analogy of this kind of bringing together the customers with the right people in the team at the right place at the right time, this sort of nose-to-nose, toe-to-toe optimization is all well and good. But if the members of the team in question do not have the prerequisite skills and knowledge to host a proactive total solution conversation that exceeds the customer's expectation and goes beyond their perceived narrow need for coming into the pharmacy, then all of that work with 4 Ps and 4 Cs and reinventing the service model will only ever deliver modest results. The challenge is in inculcating the mindsets of the members of the dispensary team to host this, as I call, all-encompassing total solution conversation that goes beyond the customer's expectation. Now, just to contextualise my upcoming assertions, allow me to declare upfront I'm not a pharmacist, never been to pharmacy college, never dispensed a script in my life. That being said, and depending on your perspective, I am fortunate enough to have started life many decades ago in corporate sales. And so this prerequisite skills in hosting this kind of total solution sales oriented conversation has been drummed into me from day one. So it's almost second nature now. It's part of my DNA. But I have been told numerous times by pharmacists that these sorts of skills and opportunities were not part of pharmacists and dispensing tech and pharmacy assistants upbringing and training. And so hosting such a conversation is not necessarily as natural for someone like me. The good news is that the skills required are not hard to learn. In fact, I'm going to put it to you, there's really only 4 that you really need to master, and they are the skills about asking the right questions the right way, and then selping. You might remember, selping is my little word for selling when all you're really doing is helping your customers. Selping the right products in the right way. Now, if we just go back a step and you think about your experience, I'm sure most, if not all of us, have been into an Apple store. And Apple has taught us all engagement is king and hosting is an honor. So if we leverage this mindset and apply it to the retail dispensary, the challenge we have, or that you have, in the hurly-burly of retail dispensary for the health customer is then extending that hosting honor into a proactive total solution conversation when sometimes you feel that you don't have time, there are queues of customers, there are lots of scripts to get out, and it's all just too intense in terms of balancing that kind of conversation and taking the time out to conduct those conversations with all the work that needs to be done. Notwithstanding, learning the skills and practicing them over and over again will allow you to conduct that kind of conversation, which will be potentially your point of difference with other pharmacies. In the situations where you've only got 30 seconds, all the way through to situations where you and the customer have got all the time you need to do it in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. It is, again, inculcating the skills to give the confidence and competence to conduct that sort of a conversation. If we think about what many of the cosmetic companies have taught front of shop dispensary assistants, we've only been in retail pharmacy 4 or 5 years, but it was quite interesting to us to hear of cosmetic area pharmacy assistants talk in terms of the little acronym over, under, off, being that for every sort of purchase that the customer might need in that type of category, there's something that you could offer to go over it, to go under it, and to take it off. If we apply, as we have seen, that kind of analogy to the back of the shop and the health customer, we've heard of the acronym before, during, after. So again, for whatever the customer is asking for or whatever script they're coming to have dispensed, there's likely to be a total solution made up of a companion add-on for the before, the prevention, the during, the treatment, and the after, the symptom side effects. So if we extend that principle to a more contemporary model that becomes a mental checklist in this fashion, think of it or imagine a conversation that runs through a mental checklist characterized by the mnemonic TAPES. T for treat, A for alleviate, alleviate being the symptoms of the condition as well as the potential side effects of the medication. P for prevention. E for enhancement, enhancing the primary med. And S for support. Come back again next month and we'll dive a little bit deeper into this one to help you understand and to help you take your reinvention journey to a forward pharmacy model to the next level. My name's Glenn Guilfoyle, always happy to take the phone call and take the conversation to a one-on-one level. And in any case, we'll see you next month. Thank you.